Delimitation Decoded: what it is, what the 2026 bills proposed, and what happens next. On April 16, 2026, the Indian Parliament witnessed a historic moment as the ruling government's constitutional amendment bills failed to secure the required two-thirds majority. Three interconnected pieces of legislation at the heart of this controversy are redrawing India's political map, expanding Parliament to 850 seats, and activating women's reservation. What is delimitation? The word delimitation refers literally to the drawing of boundaries. The constitutional basis for this process is clear and specific. Articles 81 and 82 of the Constitution of India mandate that seats in the Lok Sabha must be allocated to states in proportion to their population, and that constituency boundaries must be redrawn after every census to ensure that representation remains roughly equal across the country. So, the redrawing of the geographical boundaries of parliamentary and state assembly constituencies and the reallocation of how many seats each state holds in the Lok Sabha. Without periodic delimitation, the constitutional guarantee of equal representation breaks down. Delimitation exercises in India are carried out by the Delimitation Commission, an independent quasi-judicial body. India has conducted 4 delimitation exercises since independence in 1952, 1962, 1972, and 2002. Each followed a census. After the 1972 exercise, however, the process was interrupted, not by accident but by a deliberate constitutional decision. The 42nd Amendment, 1976, froze seat allocation to encourage population control by promising states reducing growth wouldn't lose representation. The 84th Amendment, 2001, extended this freeze until 2026. India's population has grown dramatically that fundamentally reshapes the delimitation debate and representation calculations. India's population growth has been uneven. Northern states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar experienced rapid growth, while southern states achieved demographic transition through education and healthcare investments. This divergence is the origin of delimitation tensions. 3 interconnected bills were proposed as a package. Constitution 131st Amendment Bill: remove the delimitation freeze, expand Lok Sabha to 850 seats, give Parliament control over delimitation timing and census selection. Delimitation Bill 2026 establish operational commission, use 2011 census data, redraw constituency boundaries, reserve seats for SC, ST, and women. Union Territories Laws Amendment Bill: extend the delimitation framework to UT legislatures including Puducherry, Delhi, and Jammu and Kashmir. Beyond the headline debate, the 2026 bills contain significant structural changes. The 131st Amendment would have removed the automatic constitutional link between each census and a subsequent delimitation, replacing it with a system under which Parliament decides, by ordinary law requiring only a simple majority, when delimitation will occur and which census will be used. Second, Lok Sabha expansion to 850 seats shifts power balance with Rajya Sabha unless that also see equal change in numbers. Third, Council of Ministers size cap increases proportionally with larger Lok Sabha. Managing 850 MPs raises concerns about debate quality and time allocation. Fourth, delimitation is not only about general constituencies. Articles 330 and 332 of the Constitution require that seats reserved for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes be recalculated in proportion to population. Fifth, the 106th Amendment requires that reserved seats for women rotate after each delimitation. However, the Delimitation Bill 2026 did not fully specify the frequency of rotation, the transition rules, or the principles by which constituencies would first be selected for women's reservation. Major reasons why bills didn't secure two-thirds majority: demographic penalty, states that successfully controlled population face reduced representation. Bills rely on 2011 census data, now 15 years outdated. Census and delimitation control shifts to Parliament majority. Lok Sabha expansion dilutes upper house influence in joint sessions. The Delimitation Bill 2026 used phrases including "as nearly as may be" and "as far as practicable," without specifying the exact formula for interstate seat redistribution. for legislation of this constitutional significance, the level of drafting and specificity should have been to the point. The government's counter-arguments are equally factual in their basis, bringing in democratic equality, are thereby reducing disparity. The 2023 Women's Reservation Law has a constitutional trigger mechanism that requires delimitation to operate. Without the 2026 bills, that reservation cannot apply to the 2029 elections. The 2011 census, while older, is the only published national population data available. The 2027 census data will not be ready in time. And the expanded 850-seat House was specifically designed to ensure that no state loses seats in absolute terms. Every state would gain. Both positions are constitutionally grounded. The delimitation debate is a genuine collision between two principles: equal representation by population and federal fairness for states that manage demographics responsibly. The Constitution's founding design, Articles 81 and 82, is built on the principle of democratic equality. Every citizen's vote should carry equal weight, and parliamentary representation should reflect where people actually live. It is the foundational logic of representative democracy. The debate continues. The future of Indian representation awaits.